right, welcome in. Episode 20 of Are You Cirrus?
20.
Can you believe we've done 20 of these?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can too.
But it's been so fun
It
and
has.
still having a good time. Here we are, 20 episodes in, and August, coming off of that brutal heat.
Awful.
You were out playing golf in it.
Yeah,
I don't know how you did that.
I was, yeah. Playing with some of our competitors, quotation.
Yeah.
Ed was out there, Scotty was out there, Christian, one of our dear friends from Winston-Salem, Greensboro, was up there. But yeah, I don't know why we picked, we scheduled it like a month in advance.
Right.
And then just so happened to be the hottest day of the year.
It was brutal.
121 Lake City?
in Lake City. That was the highest I could find in the state from the recent bout of heat. I think maybe Beaufort may have tied it. But yeah.
Let me ask you this. Dew points.
Yeah.
My time, I don't remember a dew point that high.
We got 85. That was Monday.
Yeah.
This week we had an 85 dew point. I think that's the highest I remember here.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Every summer we'll get an 80.
Yeah.
81. Every once in a while you'll get an 82. But we were consistently 83, 84, 85 Monday, Tuesday of this week, which was just an insane dew point. Makes me wonder maybe if there's a slight issue with the sensor there, because that was at MYR at the Myrtle Beach Airport. 85 is really, really high. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe something to look into. But yeah, either way, it was just miserable.
Dew points 81, 82 in the morning, up to 85 in the afternoon.
Makes me even more grumpy. And then I opened my power bill.
I got
the
mine
other day.
recently.
That was a shocker.
So what do you keep your AC on?
70.
I'm 68, so imagine.
I can't afford 60.
Well, trust me, I don't know if I can
tried.
anymore.
After this recent one at 70. And I'm normally the kind of guy, like, when I come home from work, I like to have a lamp or two on.
Yeah.
Just so that I don't come into a completely dark house. Leave the light on for the dogs, After this last power bill, they're all going out. I will walk into a dark house. Sonia and Hugo can sit in the dark while I'm at work.
Just unplugging everything.
Yeah. I was like, whatever, every penny counts.
Yeah.
And that was before this heat came in. So,
yeah, I can't imagine.
The next one's going to be even worse.
I saw the notification pop up in my email, and I said, "Oh boy."
Yeah. And the long-term trend through the end of August looks like above normal. So we probably got a couple more bouts of ridiculous heat to go
before we start to get some true comfortable air in here.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to be end of September, honestly.
Probably the end of September, and a lot of times it takes a hurricane to get it cool.
He said it, not me. For those that maybe this is your first episode, he is Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold.
Oh yeah,
I am Meteorologist Andrew Dockery. We're here at WMBF News in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, comment, share. Almost, by the time we're recording this, 900 views on last week's episode.
Thanks to Jenna.
Everybody
loves Jenna.
And not us.
Not us. They all tuned in for Jenna. Intern Jenna's goodbye.
Yeah, she's gone now.
Yeah.
She sobbed completely uncontrollably.
She cried.
Really, really bad. So that was fun. What's been happening with Jamie other than this brutal heat and humidity?
Doing the heat. Let's see.
I feel like you got a little tan, too.
A little. I did spend a little bit of time outside in the yard this past weekend before it got too hot. Really getting into fishing. Pier fishing.
All right.
That's kind of
we're going to change the whole plan here.
It's kind of my new favorite summer thing, fishing.
Okay.
Garden City Pier, Saturday night, a couple of beers, line off the side of the pier. And I think I like it because it's good fishing, because every time I've been, I've had a really good night. You're constantly reeling something up, or at least struggling with something, or feeling the nibbles. So I like that. That's kind of my new favorite pastime.
I used to fish a lot growing up, but I have not done much of it here.
See, I fished a lot growing up because I was forced to, so I hated it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So now, and I don't know, there's something a lot more relaxing about pier fishing than out on a boat in some flat lake somewhere. At least on the pier, you can people watch and watch the sunset, have a couple drinks.
Yeah.
If you don't catch anything, you still had a nice night on the ocean. So.
One of my favorite fishing stories, there's a buddy here that lives, and even met him. His name's Ryan. We've done kayak fishing before. Let me tell you, that is a whole new ball game.
I've seen some videos of that, and I don't think I can handle that.
It is. We were not successful. We caught the bait because we were like, we're going to go out there with nothing. We caught the bait. I bought all this equipment. I pulled out an anchor for a boat on my kayak and drop. Listen, your kayak just spins in the current. So it's to control your kayak and the reel. Good luck to those who do it.
I feel like the balancing act of reeling something in while in a kayak is very, and y'all know I'm not coordinated.
No.
I am not coordinated, so I feel like I would instantly flip over.
Yeah, the pier is probably the safer and better option too. I saw your photos. I guess what was that 4th of July weekend when you were doing it?
Yeah,
and I was like, look at Jamie.
Yeah, just reeling them in one after the other, and kind of since then, sort of every other weekend or so, if the weather's good. Go down, fish for an hour or two.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Garden City, too, that pier is beautiful.
Yeah, really excited for Cherry Grove to open back up.
Or Surfside.
Or Surfside.
It's been.
Well, that's a whole other story.
I was going to say, we have our anchors who haven't even been on the Surfside pier.
Yeah, that's wild. That's because of how long it has been since that pier has been gone.
So,
yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
For those that may have noticed, if not, where have you been? We've launched some new graphics.
Yeah, astute viewers.
They look really good, too.
They do.
Really good. And it's not just weather. I remember, when did we launch last weather graphics?
It wasn't long ago. We only did these for
a
year and a half, maybe 2 years.
And now it's a whole new package. News, weather, etc. And you and I were talking, and we were talking with Robert and Matt, too, but for sure, you and me, we've texted, simple is the new goal.
Yeah. Yeah, simple, clean, not a lot. You don't need distractions in TV graphics.
Yeah.
So I feel like this new graphics package, this new graphic look really exemplifies that. It's very clean. It's very simple. It's kind of big. It's kind of bold. It's easy to see. It's easy to read.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Something different, too, is like the transitions in between the graphics, which... For those that haven't seen it, it will be like a now in big bold, and then it will reveal the graphic or first alert or forecast. I'm trying to remember which other ones we've thrown in there.
The 7 day. And it even comes with little...
Oh, it looks and sounds so good.
Yeah.
To everyone who's worked on the graphics behind the scenes, kudos to them. It's been awesome. The news side of it looks great, too.
Yeah.
But
I feel like in our 15 years of history, this is probably the best we've ever looked. As far as just an on-camera presence, just the look of everything. I feel like this is our best.
I like how it's all cohesive, too.
Yeah.
It's the same text you're going to get for news and weather. For us, a graphic that you maybe have traditionally seen from us may just look a little bit more simpler.
Yeah.
I think of some of those, and we'll talk more about the tropics here in a second, but even our muggy meter seems simpler.
Yeah.
The beach forecast seems, the boat and beach forecast. I just started a Hometown Hello again. It's a lot more simpler.
Yep.
It's got a map cut out with a little pen and then the forecast.
Yep.
It just looks, for people that don't know, what's the process like when it comes into, all right, we're going to start from scratch. Here's a new graphic system. What's the nitty gritty of it?
All of it. All of it. So, the way kind of this process works, and this is let me see, I've been here 15 years now. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our 6th graphics.
As I say, I've been here for 3.
Yeah, this is our 6th, maybe 7th graphics transition. And it's kind of a tedious process.
Yeah.
You have a certain set of graphics that you're going to show every day, the 7-day forecast, current temperature, tomorrow's forecast, things like that. So when you're sort of transitioning from one look to the next look, it takes a long time to kind of get all those little things set over. So just you think about simply the banner at the top that says today or 7-day forecast. All of that has to be changed. The fonts have to be changed. Then you change the backgrounds. Then you change whatever sort of text boxes. You change your fonts. And it can go quickly, but considering the huge volume of graphics that we have.
How many do you think we got total?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Just the volume of graphics that we have is insane. So going through and remaking those, it takes a while.
Not to mention event planners.
Yeah.
Daily planners.
Yeah.
I know people that are probably listening to this. Rose is one of them. She loves the biking and walking planner, and those are 2 separate graphics we have to make and build out, and to me, change the background every
Yep.
time we use it so
Yep.
it looks fresh. Tea time planner, stuff like that. You have to build all those out in advance. It just
Yeah.
doesn't magically appear.
Right.
And you kind of build that consistency into, okay, this is our look. We have this planner. Now what else? So with that being said, if you're listening to the podcast, would you like to see a graphic? Let us know.
Yeah.
I'd love to somehow implement more.
Yeah. Me
But
too.
it's just, you do it so much, you just kind of get stuck in the same running and walk. And
Yep.
so if you have any, let us know for
Yeah.
sure.
Let us know. Graphics are just they're everything to me.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me happier than sitting down and having fun building graphics and freshening up
Yeah.
graphics. The past 2 months, getting ready for the launch of this new look. Between the 6 o'clock news and the 11 o'clock news, I've just sat in the office, turned on the music, and cranked out graphics, and have absolutely loved it.
So for when it comes to the forecast for you, we have a lot of people that are up and coming, or maybe even Jenna's listening to this, and we've talked about it with her before. What would you tell someone when they're building graphics or trying to dive in? Because I know it can be daunting. I remember when Jenna was here, and I said, "Hey, build me a graphic," and she said, "But what?
What? Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
what would you recommend to people when it comes to building their graphics?"
I always recommend, and this has come a long way as someone who loves to build graphics and make graphics for television weather. I still have to reel myself in. Less is more.
Yeah.
Less is more.
Yeah.
Because you have to think of the person who's watching you while they're getting their kids ready for school, or they're cooking dinner, and
Yep.
we're just kind of on in the background, and they're glancing up, and they're kind of listening, and then they're doing something else, and then they're glancing up again. You want to give them just nice, clean, basic, what they need to know.
Yeah.
What they need to know.
I was going through some of mine when I first started here. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Atrocious.
Yeah.
They're bad.
Yeah. And my pet peeve is
Oh, this is good. A pet peeve of your graphic. Okay.
graphics pet peeves. Text on a graphic. It needs to be white, or it needs to be very dark. Like ours, we do mainly white, but if we have a white background, we'll do like a really deep blue that kind of matches our look.
Yeah.
If I see a graphic like a rain chance or something weird, and it has like orange or green text or light blue text, it just makes my soul cringe. Yeah. And I used to make those graphics
Yeah, I
did
used to make them a lot.
back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. My pet peeve is consistency. And Matt Bullock could tell you this. I've told him before, just because it grinds my gears. If I'm using the old BAM graphic with the border, the whole hit will have
Same.
the border.
Same.
Just because that is my pet peeve.
Yeah.
If I'm using a certain look, it will all look the same.
Yeah.
I will spend more time on getting every graphic to match that rather than building a new one, because I know if I click it, I'm like, oh, dang.
Yeah.
This is going to drive me crazy.
Yeah, that's me. I spend the vast majority of my afternoon is spent building graphics. And it's not like every day we come in and build everything from scratch.
Correct.
As you said,
Correct.
We've got a lot of things that are pre-made. There may be one or two graphics that we sort of custom make for whatever the weather story is that day. But still fine-tuning, changing backgrounds,
Yeah.
tweaking things just a little bit to kind of match the story,
Yeah.
which is what I always try to focus on every day, is the weather story,
Yeah.
and kind of making it nice and cohesive.
Think of it, too, if you're listening to this, maybe story time for your
Story
kid.
time, yeah.
Can't do story time if you don't have a book.
Right.
The graphics are our book.
The graphics are the book. They help us tell the story. Ultimately, the way I look at it, and the way like I taught Jenna and I teach anybody that comes in, we're telling the story. We're telling the weather story. The graphics are there to support you.
Yeah.
They
Support.
can't stand alone. They're supporting you. You have to be the one that tells the story, but with a nice graphic.
Yeah.
To aid in that.
Convey it for sure.
Yeah.
So our graphics are clean and simple. You
Yep.
said less is more.
Less is more.
So for hurricane season, we've already showcased the chance of development, which is a really
Love that graphic.
low-key
Love that graphic. Yeah.
And I love the one that you did with just the white text on the map and the circle.
Less.
The simple.
Less.
So for people that are curious, what might they see this year?
Do you
for us
remember what
hurricane season?
episode it was where we did the big deep dive hurricane? It was season 1.
The cone,
maybe
trusting
halfway.
the
Yeah,
cone.
yeah, the cone.
Episode something.
So this is one thing you're going to notice. And so here's a heads up on this.
It's
For
different.
hurricane season. It's different. It's not vastly different. It's simpler.
Yep.
So let's talk about the cone, and maybe we can add in some fancy graphics in this portion of the podcast to kind of show. The cone will no longer have a center line.
Which it shouldn't.
Because if you want to know why, go back and watch the podcast where we talk about the cone real briefly, because people focus on the center line too much.
Yep.
The center line is gone. The icon for where the hurricane is forecast to be at that point is no longer going to be exactly on the map.
Or in the center of the cone.
Or not always exactly in the center of the cone. What we're going to do now in the future, moving forward, is the cone is still going to look the same. It's going to be a nice red cone. But we're trying to emphasize the fact that the cone is very variable, highly variable. So instead of, the old track, you would have the cone, and then you would see the hurricane icon sort of right down that middle line with the time that it's forecast to be there. We're still going to have all of that information, but it's not going to be quite as precise. And that's not to confuse. That's not to muddy the situation. That's just to take the focus away from the exact center point of the hurricane, because the impact spread way outside of the center of the hurricane.
For sure.
And that's what we need to be focusing on.
And I think, too, another thing you'll see, and we've done this in the past, and we'll probably do more of it, you won't see a ton of model data long range.
Yeah.
It's going to go 5 to 7 days out unless there's a lot of consistency and it matches the forecast. You're also probably going to see impact-based forecasts, and we've done this before, outside of the cone, because as we talked about, as that cone gets, or the storm gets closer, the cone gets smaller. But the impacts are even felt outside of that cone.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot more of that from us. What that looks like is still TBD, but...
And I was thinking about this, I think it was last week when we were kind of building some of the graphics. I was thinking back to some of our previous hurricanes that didn't make landfall here, but brought significant impacts.
Yeah.
Let's go back to 2020 and Isaias.
Yep.
We were rightfully so in the cone 5 days out.
Yep.
But as you said, as the storm gets closer, the cone gets narrower because the cone naturally fans out like this. Once we got within about a day of Isaias bypassing us, we weren't even in the cone. It was just offshore.
Yeah.
But you think about it, we ended up with what, the third, fourth highest storm surge in the north end of the Grand Strand.
All the flooding.
Dorian, similar thing. Center never came ashore.
Yeah.
Strong tropical storm force winds, numerous tornadoes, flash flooding. And, 12, 24 hours before, we were basically out of the cone.
Yeah.
Because we were confident the center of those hurricanes weren't going to pass over us. They passed just offshore. Dorian, I think, was 50 miles offshore. But we still got those significant impacts.
It's almost like...
Impacts.
It's almost like during the time of passage, even though we weren't in the cone, that's when the impacts were the highest.
Yeah.
Which is why you're going to see more of that from us. We've talked about it, too, maybe overlaying some forecast with the cone.
Yep.
Just to kind of show, hey, just because this is going to pass by... so it just depends on what hurricane season offers.
Yeah.
I do think we need to address hurricane season within itself.
Yep.
Since the last time we talked, 2 forecast updates have come out.
Updating it.
Doubling down
Yeah.
on, hey, we're not done yet.
Yeah. Both Colorado State and NOAA bumped up the numbers, percentages, the likelihood of an active season.
Yeah.
More active season than the original forecast, and that's El Nino was still out there. El Nino was still coming on, not coming on quite as strong, quite as fast as the initial forecasts, and the sort of hedging the bets more on the incredibly warm water may be just enough to overcome El Nino heading into the rest of the hurricane season.
Yeah, because you have to think that's already established.
Yeah.
And that's a good way to look at it. Like, we already know the water's warm.
Yeah.
It's abnormally warm. In some places, it's record warmth.
Yep.
El Nino is a little bit weaker for now,
Yeah.
but it is projected to still increase. I think the question, and this is really diving into it, what's the steering mechanisms going to be like in September?
Yeah.
In August. And Colorado State, for those that are wondering, now starts those 2-week outlooks.
Yep.
Hot zones, they did great with their first one, highlighting the areas in the main development region right now.
Yep.
So that's going to be our big thing here over these next couple of weeks, is waiting for that.
My feeling, and just looking sort of long term, as far out as we can go with at least a little bit of confidence, is I think this hurricane season, in some ways, may be similar to last hurricane season. I kind of think it all comes at once in about a 6-week period, and then kind of shuts down. Which is how it was last year. Remember, August of 2022, there wasn't a single named storm.
Yeah, that's a good
September
point.
hit, and it was bam, 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 bam,
That's a very
bam.
good point.
Mid-October, it was done. It was done.
Yeah.
And I kind of think we may be in a similar situation this year.
Yeah, looking at some of the long ranges signals, end of August, early September.
Yeah.
And we've been saying that. I
Yeah.
mean, right now I know we have chances of development out there, but as far as threats to the United States, end of
Late
August.
this month, early September, which, when you kind of step back and think of it, isn't really a bold forecast. That's called hurricane season.
Yeah, that's called the peak of hurricane season.
Yeah.
But for sure, we'll keep you posted on that. I guess we need to shoot the breeze.
Let's shoot the breeze. We're just kind of taking it easy this episode. I feel
are.
like we're just...
Honestly, it's a lot to plan.
This
with
is the
people.
August, just kind of...
I like that.
it's kind of the August
I like
vibe.
that. I will open the opportunity for people that are listening. If there is someone that you could think,
Yeah.
hey, they would be a great guest
Yeah.
on Are You Serious?
Yeah, let us know who you want to see.
Whether that be a photographer in the community, someone here at WMBF News. Think on it and let us know. We've pitched some ideas, and we have some that I'm really excited about. But I'd love to meet the needs of...
And you know us, we're always kind of dreaming big, so we're...
I mean, yeah, if you want to say a big name, say a big name. I don't know.
Yeah, say a big name. Who knows?
Who would be a big name for you that you would like to have on here? That's a good question.
That is. Wow.
That was a spur of the moment right there.
Josh Morgerman, I want.
Yeah.
I want him.
Me
I feel like
too.
I've missed he's the big storm chaser, hurricane chaser that I met down in Texas. I feel like I've missed our opportunity because he's in full chase mode now that we're kind of getting into the peak of hurricane season. So maybe as hurricane season shuts down, I can sweet talk him into at least doing a little Skype. Because let me tell you, the guy's stories are mind blowing.
Yeah. I want to say Eric Thomas.
Eric Thomas?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
From WBTV in Charlotte.
Yeah, I think we bring him on. That'd be fun. Not because, like...
No,
I just
Eric's
think, I
great.
think
No,
that
that's
would be
great.
a great...
Eric is great.
We wouldn't have to talk.
No, and Eric
High personality.
Eric is a big talker. Eric was the first person I ever interned with.
Yeah, I remember. That's why I said I think Eric Thomas would be a
In
great episode.
1996.
Well, you didn't have
That's
to,
how
you
old
didn't
I
have
am.
to date yourself.
1996. I did an internship with Eric Thomas, who was the chief meteorologist at our sister station, WBTV in Charlotte.
Yeah, thinking about that, that
Yeah.
would be really fun.
You know who else I would like? This could be kind of fun too.
Okay.
What if we brought on our old mentors?
Okay.
Would that be kind of fun?
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Talk to them about their growing up in the business.
They're growing up. They're sort of passing the torch. And now, we're kind of doing it.
That's a good episode.
I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I guess we would have to figure out how to do Skype.
Somebody else can figure it out. We'll just, I just show up.
Yeah, Darion's got a crew. We can have a crew, right?
Yeah.
Y'all
Yeah.
figure out how to do
We
this.
need to steal some of Darion's crew from his podcast.
Oh my goodness.
Well, let's do shoot the
one.
breeze.
You want to pull?
Yeah, I'll pull it out. Let's see.
By the way, we
like,
need
what is this in here?
some shooting the breeze questions. We have answered so many, which is a good thing.
It's really good. Oh,
but we only have like 3 or 4 in here, so.
Okay. Oh, this is really good. 2 questions. How do you guys prepare for hurricanes at home if you're at work? And 2, they used to say put masking tape on windows. The last hurricane, my neighbor said do not. What is your opinion on taping windows?
Nice. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah?
I don't know if I know the masking tape one. I don't know if I've heard that.
Oh yeah. It used to be the thing. Oh yeah. If you didn't board up, you put some masking tape, put some duct tape on your windows. And it used to be in my old days of hurricane chasing down here. Every gas station, every grocery store had giant duct tape or masking tape X's on all the windows, and the thought was it protected the windows. It doesn't.
No, hell, I knew it didn't work.
It
but
doesn't.
I've never heard that
You may as well
before.
put a piece of Scotch tape on the window and stop a 2x4.
That's like the myth of opening a window when a tornado's
Yeah.
coming through or whatever.
Yeah. So
That's the first time I've heard that.
to Blitz Bobby 104 via YouTube. Yeah, the masking tape doesn't do it. Not only does it not protect against flying debris, and let's remember this: wind isn't what breaks your windows.
Yep.
It's not the wind.
Yep.
It's what's in the wind
Yep.
that breaks your
The
windows. If you had a clean 100-mile-per-hour wind, your windows are probably going to hold up. But we don't have a clean hurricane around here. You get a 100-mile-per-hour wind, and there's all kind of stuff blowing in it. There's 2x4s and shingles and limbs and trash cans and lawn furniture and everything you can think of in the air blowing along. That's what breaks your windows.
Yeah.
So, no to masking tape. And 2, can you imagine the mess of cleaning up all of that little residue
That's what I'm
after the
thinking.
hurricane when you take the tape off?
Not to
It's
mention
even
stuff
worth it.
that's going to stick to
It's
it.
not even worth it.
Yeah, that just seems like a mess.
And then, so the first part of the question is, how do you guys prepare for hurricanes at home?
I love this question.
If you're at work, I do too.
It's a whole episode.
And this is kind of embarrassing for me.
Oh, Lord.
They blacked us out again.
Thanks for watching. Are you serious?
And we've been canceled. All right, they were back. I'm the worst. Of course, we hit be prepared. And I've got a little hurricane kit.
I was about to say.
No, I've got a little kit. I've got my
Okay.
documents in place. I live in an area where I'm more or less good as far as evacuations go. But as far as last minute preparations, mine are usually slim to none because all of my time is spent here.
No, I get that.
You take literally the 5 or 6 days leading up to a hurricane, we're all here 12 or 14 hours a day. When I do get home, I try to get in 2 or 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, and a
when I'm
cocktail.
home, and a cocktail. When I am home, I'm usually on my phone or the computer looking at weather stuff or coordinating with our boss or talking to radio stations who want to do interviews. And so I really don't have time. All of the recent hurricanes that we've had, basically on my way out the door to come in for what I know is going to be the long haul, I may pull the deck furniture in the front door, and then I'm out.
Yeah.
And I've gotten lucky.
Yeah.
I live in kind of a sheltered area. I'm down in the trees, which is scary in a hurricane, but I'm not in an exposed area where all my stuff's going to blow away.
Yeah.
So I do minimal house preparations, and I got an old house that's pretty sturdy. So
The very first year we were here, we were in an apartment, Emily and I were, and we preached be prepared. We did the hurricane special. I was out at Walmart 2 days before the hurricane, which I guess this would have been Dorian. Never will do that again.
no.
Never. It was like a winter storm was coming. And we were looking for batteries and all this stuff for Emily, for the apartment, which at the time, everything was good. We lived next to the airport. Well, now that we own a house, it's mainly just deck furniture and stuff like that. We try to, during September, for sure September, October, I try to have an extra of everything already.
Yeah.
Extra water, extra snacks, just in case something really spurs up, just because you never know. But other than that, we're ready to go. I mean,
And with all of that said, we haven't had a hurricane threat that looked to potentially produce major damage, category 2 or category 3. We've had all ones here recently. Florence briefly scared us there for a while with that forecast that it was coming in as a 4. But as far as a really legitimate, this is going to be an extreme event.
Yeah.
We obviously I would do more in those circumstances, but for the most part, for the category 1s that we've been getting, it's patio furniture. Get my ferns off the porch.
Yeah. I think our prep too is also just, at least for me and you and Robert and Matt, our prep isn't just our houses. It's just like us.
Us, yeah.
Do we have our suits? Do we have the glasses, the contacts? Are we going to need extra deodorant? Like, how long are we going to be in here?
Yeah.
That's a lot of prep. That's a lot of our time.
My black suit is my hurricane suit.
I didn't think about that.
So this time of the year, I make sure that I get it sort of dry cleaned more than any of my other suits because I want it nice and clean and I want it nice and sharp. Because you know how it is when you feel good.
Yeah.
You feel good.
Confidence, yeah.
And my black suit is very comfortable, which is very important. So it's comfortable. It's in a state to go, and I don't wear it as much this time of the year because I want it to just kind of sit there in case I need to pull it for hurricane day. So you're not going to see me in my black suit as much. That's my power suit.
That was my number one mistake, as I wore a tight white shirt.
The worst.
During Dorian.
Yeah.
And I will never do that again.
Yeah.
It's going to be very loose fitting.
Yep.
Some nice material. Will be set, but yeah.
And my tennis shoes. And my tennis shoes ready to go. Yeah, because my black shoes are my most uncomfortable shoes. Black shoes, not going to see during a hurricane coverage. It's going to be my black suit and my tennis shoes.
Yeah, the tennis shoes thing was smart.
The worst hurricane fashion disaster I ever had was...
Great story.
Yeah, this is how the podcast goes. Hurricane Matthew was here. Everything was going fine, was covering Matthew. That was my personal record. Did 21 consecutive hours on the air, nonstop, during Hurricane Matthew. About 4 hours into our coverage that day, my belt broke. And I'm the type of person, I hate for my pants to feel loose. I hate to constantly sort of tug at my pants to have to pull them up. I spent the rest of that hurricane with no belt. And I felt so sloppy and uncomfortable because I just felt like the whole day we're covering a hurricane and I'm trying to pull my pants up. Finally, later in the day, I got so sick of it and I went to somebody. I was like, I have to borrow a belt. And I found somebody's belt and it kind of helped me out for the rest of the day. But
that's a lot.
Yeah. Fashion and hurricanes, you never know what you're going to get on Are You Cirrus?
Yeah. How about that? Great question.
Yeah, Blitz. I love that. That was fun. Blitz.
Blitz
Bobby 104.
Oh. Can of worms opened. Holly via YouTube. After a few weeks, what are your all's thoughts about Threads?
I'm over it.
I'm over it.
You love it? You hate it?
I hate it.
Really? You were a big Threads fan?
I know. I hate it.
Why do you hate it now?
I need a desktop version.
Yeah.
It is so, because this is so first world problems.
Right.
It is so hard for me because we have everything in one click.
Yeah.
Where we work. Like, post a graphic, it's out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, wherever.
Yeah.
You can't do that on this.
No.
So you're literally trying to copy the photo, and it's just so much to keep up with.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a platform to come, cool. But I was even using it during severe weather.
Yeah.
When we had those warnings. It's showing stuff from 3 days ago.
Yeah. I see your notifications come up, and I'm like, I guess
I do it once a day at this point. I'm there just to be there.
When it was the craze there for 3 days, y'all talked me into it. I got on it.
I know.
I hemmed and hawed and didn't want to do it. And y'all got me on there.
I know.
And I posted like 4 times, and I haven't opened it since.
They said updates are coming like weeks ago.
Haven't opened it since. I'm still angry with Elon with the Twitter stuff, but I'm getting through. And now that I have Threads, and you can't delete it, because if you delete Threads, it deletes your Instagram.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So now I'm just stuck with constant, with Threads. It's just sitting here on my phone, and it'll be there forever because I'm not dealing with it.
For instance, if I open it up right now, this is how much I hate the app. It takes forever to load. 2 minutes ago, that's good. 3 hours, 19 minutes, 12 minutes, 1 day.
Right.
This doesn't help me.
No.
Like, if you're going to do it and say, hey, this is old Twitter, let's make it real time.
Yeah, make it real time.
And then I'm in.
Real time.
I'll
yeah.
be back on the Threads train if that happens.
Yeah, probably not.
But it probably won't.
So if you're looking for weather information from me on Threads,
Twitter.
you're not going to find it.
You can find it on Twitter for both of us.
Yeah.
As much as
the Twitter and the Facebook.
don't like Elon.
Probably Twitter more. I think I do more weather on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm saying
Especially geeky weather.
Well, especially because I say real time. I'll post more radar updates to Twitter.
Yeah.
No one wants to see 1,000 radar updates on their Facebook page.
Right.
Because they're going to see it in 2
outdated
days.
and whatever. So, Facebook is more for the cool stuff and the fun stuff and the pretty stuff and my dogs and my garden and the fish I catch.
And to comment with you and talk.
But Twitter is, fire out something. Oh, man, check this out. Oh,
if
check
you're
this out.
sending us photos, too, please do it to Twitter.
Oh, I love Twitter.
I lose so many photos on Facebook. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, because they get in the messenger and then
I hopped in today and I had 4 I hadn't seen.
Oh, I know.
So,
yeah.
Holly, great question.
Love that.
All right, last one.
Oh, this is an easy one.
Uh-oh.
This one's all you. This is all you.
Oh, I know the question.
What's your go-to bourbon? Steve, via YouTube.
Steve, you're my guy. Steve, you are a fantastic human. Anything from Kentucky or anything with alcohol in it, which is all of it. For me, I don't know. I like Buffalo Trace anything. I'm picky on that stuff.
That's the nice one, right?
Yeah, Buffalo Trace is nice.
I think I remember.
You got me a bottle.
I was getting ready to say, I think
Trace.
I got you a bottle of Buffalo Trace.
It's very smooth for a new bourbon drinker, and it's just a classic staple. It's also hard to get.
Yeah.
So if you get it, keep it for a while. But they're the ones who make the Blantons and everything else. They also make a very cheap bourbon called Ancient Age, which tastes just like Blantons for like way less. Like Blanton's is $120. Ancient Age is $10.
Yeah.
So like it comes in a plastic bottle, but it's the same recipe, same people.
I have I've tried 2 new vodkas with my Cosmos here recently. I forget the name.
What is your go-to vodka?
I'm just kind of a Tito's guy. I'm not, you know. I mean, I love Grey Goose, but I'm not.
When I tell you I walked in there to get some because I need a refill on my Cosmo, vodka, I didn't know what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Or if you were like, hey, tell me some bourbons I could give you.
Right.
I don't know. I got Tito's the first time. New Amsterdam the second time, which couldn't tell you a difference.
My new favorite is, I forget the name of it, so forgive me if this person is watching this vodka company. Which, it has like a swordfish on the front, so it's kind of like a nautical.
I've seen that one.
It is really good and really affordable. Very clean, very smooth. And I tell you, is Lauren over there? Can we say, hey, Lauren? She's in a meeting.
No.
So Lauren brought me back a bottle of vodka from Iceland from when they went on their vacation. Cracked that open last weekend for a Cosmo. Really good. Also really clear and crisp, but almost a little peppery. Little, like just a touch of, little back there, which was fun.
Lauren brought me back Icelandic moonshine. Let me tell y'all, that stuff lit me up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to think. I'll have to look at that vodka next time because,
like I said, swordfish.
I remember
it's
seeing
something
it.
nautical. Yeah,
I honestly thought it was just like a ripoff, like a cheap one. Cause
no,
I didn't know.
It's really good, really good.
Okay, well, good.
Yeah, this podcast sponsored by.
Yeah, could you imagine? Hey, we would make it.
I would love it.
Yeah, so episode 20, that does it. They're saying we're out of time already.
Yeah, are we? So
5 minutes, 2
so
minutes
let us
ago.
know who you want to see. We're looking at some local photographers. We're looking at some storm folks. We had a discussion off air. We're thinking about having our boss on the air on the podcast, which I think would be really fun if we can convince him to do it.
Would love it.
One, he's got a lot of great weather stories.
Oh, a ton.
And he's a
He
weather
comes from
geek.
a weather market, weather
he's,
geek.
He's a weather geek. He comes from a big weather market. He drives us crazy, and we love him for it. And we drive him crazy, and he loves us for it.
And I think it would be a very good episode.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too, to get his perspective on us.
And then our perspective on him.
Wow. We'd have to be a little careful on that one.
Yeah, but I mean.
Yeah, but it's fun. We've got a great relationship with our boss.
Yeah, like I feel like we can joke about it. And
Yeah.
honestly, I could see that episode going one way. Not 2 ways, one way.
One way? Good.
He tells us, and we're like, oh, yeah. And then we go to him, and he's like, he just sits back. He's just very quiet.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I can see
and we've
that.
still got to get Eric and Rachel on.
Rachel have
We're
to get
working
on.
on it.
Yep.
We're planning things. We'll see how the rest of the hurricane season goes. If we might have to take a week break here or there, depending on
Yeah.
what happens. But
And and tentatively, think of December
think of early December.
for a live show.
Yeah, we're
don't know
open.
where.
We're open to suggestions on that. We think we kind of want to make that a tradition.
What
where
if we call it an Are You Cirrus Christmas party?
That's what I like. Yeah.
Huh.
Are you
It's
Cirrusmas?
Are You Cirrusmas? and it's a party where you come, we celebrate the holiday.
Yeah.
We end the year.
In the season.
I like that a lot.
I do too. So, one, let us know if you want to be there. Two, we'll take suggestions on places.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it.
So that's it. So this has been episode 20 of Are You Cirrus?
And we can't wait to celebrate Cirrusmas with you later this year.
And see what we come up with next week.
Yeah, right. Like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever. We appreciate you all tuning in. Have a good one.
Have a good one.